Happy birthday, Patchy! Happy birthday to you! La la la. Okay, Patchy, here is a surprise message all the way from Israel on your special evening of celebrating your amazing life. And for this special occasion, I have decided to list a couple of reasons why I love you. First of all, every single time you come home from work, every single day, you always open the door and go, yo ho ho! Without fail, every day. Another reason I love you is that you always, on Shabbat, we can sit down for dinner and you always have another story from the gym of people calling you fat. For example, the time when you went on the scales and a little Indian man comes along and says, excuse me, one at a time please, along with many others. Another reason why I love you is that when you get excited, you do a little dance like this. Every time you get into the bath, all you hear around the house is, woo, woo, and then a huge splash and all the water falling out. I wonder what happens inside. Something else special about you, Patchy, is your love for walking backwards. I mean, you're not the youngest of people, but you love walking backwards. Even though you have problems with your knees, it's your favourite thing to do. I think maybe walking backwards is the way forwards. Something quite interesting about you, my father, is the fact that you exercise for approximately 2 to 3 hours a day, but you still have quite a bit of meat on you. It doesn't make scientific sense. I mean, the amount of exercise you do and the way that you look, it is just an interesting fact about you. I'm guessing there's lots of muscle underneath all that meat. Do you remember the time when I was young and wanting to diet and I said to you, Patchy, if you go to Marcus's, for those of you that don't know, Marcus's is a kosher restaurant that was once in London and the majority of its food is made out of pure fat. So I said to Patchy, when you go to Marcus's, get me a burger, but could you see if they can get me a diet one? And you said to me, of course, Karen, they have a diet menu. And I was amazed. Oh, that's great. Get me a light burger. That sounds fabulous. And then I can have a healthy dinner. You come home and I get a burger with the word diet written on top. Fabulous. I'm eating the burger saying, oh, this is a good burger. I can't believe they made this meal. I mean, it could have been my ignorance, but I found out a couple of weeks later that you wrote that diet on that box with your spazzy hand. I mean, I could blame myself, but you're very good at lying, and it was very clever of you. It was a great Patchy moment. Something else I love about you, and this is definitely one of my favourite things, is your nightie. Who wears a nightie other than Patchy? You love that. It's nice and breezy. The best is when I have friends over for Shabbat dinner, and you come down wearing it. That's great, Dad. Something else which stays with me from my childhood is when I went on B'nai Akiva camp when I was 15 years old and I was awaiting the letter my parents were going to send me. Finally, I get a letter to camp and you wrote me a letter saying the following. Wagwan Keza, I'm just coaching with your mama, my bihach, in the crib. I've been going to the gym every day because I am a buff ting. Love, Patchy. You are so cool. There is nothing like you, Patrick. I love you. Another thing, which I think nearly everyone has seen this about you, is that sometimes you sit on chairs and your feet don't touch the ground. I mean, my feet touch the ground. Your feet don't touch. It's very special and unique and you must embrace this factor about yourself. Another part of our growing up was walking in the park, taking walks. Those were great. Something special I love about you is the fact that you always look like this. That's your face, and I love it. Something else which is quite a characteristic of you is every single sentence when you talk about anyone always begins with, oh, what a lovely fellow. Well, he's a great fellow. What? Who uses the word fellow? What does it mean? It's not a word. It doesn't mean man or... Say man. What's fellow, Patchy? Only you. that's in short a couple of the things that I love about you. You're great, and these are just the things I could think of off the top of my head. On a serious note, after the jokes and potentially quite insulting things I've said about you right now in front of a lot of people, I want to say that I really, really love you. It's very difficult and sad for me that I can't be there tonight, but I hope you know that I'm with you in spirit, in the room, eating the food, and I miss you, and I think about you every day, and I think it's an unbelievable, it's for those of you that know my father, it's unbelievable that 60 years and he's still the person that he is. You're an inspiration, and I've learned personally so much from you. I mean, I'm standing here saying this message to you wearing the uniform of the IDF with ranks of a lieutenant on my shoulder, and each person is from what their parents have given them, and I've learned so much from you. So I want to thank you. You've been a huge inspiration. You're very knowledgeable. Nearly every day I call you up with another question, you have the answer straight away. And it's really been a gift to me that I have someone like you in my life. I miss you. I hope you have many, many more years to come. And if you're down about being 60 because you think that you're old, just think that on the scale of 0 to 120, you're only halfway. So you're fine. I love you. Have a great night. Whoever's there and whoever can see this, please, please, after I finish this message, lift up a l'chaim to my father. And l'chaim, Dad. I love you. Happy birthday.